Hello, hello, hi. Hello, it is me. It is I. Small town Didi on the internet, and I'm back, you guys. I am load shedding. It's late. I have those power saver lights things back here. They're not exactly doing the thing, but I charged my power bank and I'm using that to light up my ring light. Yeah, I should not do things like that. Okay. So I'm gonna have to be quick, right? I'm like, if like S1 is gonna get in the way of me baking, I'm gonna sit down here and talk about something, right? Let's get one thing done. Wine in hand. What am I drinking today? I think it's a Chardonnay. I'm looking at the fridge. But yeah, because it's something I opened at the weekend. It's Monday. Yes, what are we talking about today? Oh my god, you guys, thank you so much for coming back. Thank you for subscribing, letting your people know about me. Please do like the video, do engage with me. I love to read the comments. I love to know where people are with me. I love to know what people think about some of the views I have on some of these things. Like, I really love to see the comments. Well, for now, right? Maybe if they start getting weird, I'm like, oh, what's this? But for now, I like it. I'm gonna try to not yell today because, well, the lights are off, so I can actually hear when I'm being a little loud. And like any other day when we have electricity, you can hear, like, there's so much noise all around. You know, the refrigerator's on, this, that, and the other. But it's quiet today. My parents' wall is right up against my baking room, so I'm gonna try not to yell because I don't want to wake them up. So let's keep up. We are down here today, down here, up on here, on here. I don't know. We're on here to talk about the Real Housewives of Cape Town. They gave us a very good episode. Oh god. I actually think the Real Housewives of Cape Town are getting a bad, like, take. I feel like a lot of you aren't giving them a chance. I actually am starting to think that South Africa in general does not respond to this format of, like, reality television. We like the Nagwetu type shit, the Papgeld, the Yajolas. They're nice to look at, but they're nothing to review. They're nothing to sit and talk about. And the reason we talk about and review these kinds of shows is to talk about our characters and how people behave. Like, we want to observe behavior and things like that. There's nothing of depth to chew on the other shows, in my humble opinion anyway. But anyway, I hope you guys are down here to listen to my review even if you don't watch the show, because I actually do need your views and I love to hear from you. Anyway, let's get into what I've been going on and on. First scene, we see Camilla and Beverly. They go to her surgeon's office / spa thing. It seems it's like a beauty spot type thing. They obviously do surgical things because that's the lady that's been responsible. That's the doctor rather that's been responsible for reconstructing her face after she had that accident. I'm still not certain what exactly happened to Camilla's face, because when Beverly was at the vineyard stomping grapes with Tato had said no. From what I understand, from what Camilla had said to me, her ex-husband had got rather violent with her, and that's where the scar on her face comes from. Camilla, though, or rather Beverly, says that she was told that the scar was from an accident that happened when she was drinking, and it's why Camilla doesn't drink anymore, because of that incident. That's now left her, I don't want to use the word disfigured, but scarred, right? Because she's not disfigured. Camilla is actually very beautiful. I find Camilla very beautiful. Like, every time I see her, I think that's why she's so about, among other things, about showing up on camera 1 minute just looking herself and then looking dolled up and whatever, because she knows that she cleans up nice. Like, when she decides that she's gonna look pretty, she's gonna, you know, have her, what is it? But what's the phrase? What is it? Is it have her foot on these girls' necks? Yeah, she's gonna be the girl, you know, she's gonna be the moment. They go to the spa. The entire experience is inauthentic to me. Beverly's simple. Beverly's not a very bright girl. She's simple, and Camilla is a people reader and she's very bright, right? So she's read her already. She knows how to manipulate her and what to do with her. I mentioned that at the vineyard in the previous episode or 2 episodes ago, Tato and Beverly went to this vineyard and they were talking about the how the scar on Camilla's face came about. And Camilla, I mean, Beverly is like, oh, now I have something to use against her because she came to spray me with my shit, essentially, at the event that Tato had, talking about my ex-husband and all the allegations around him, you know, all the rumors and all of that stuff. And now I have something on her. Camilla taking Beverly to go see her surgeon and have her surgeon show her these images of what she looked like before she started work on her face and all of that stuff is very strategic because that's the type of person we're dealing here. She's a professional white woman. That's a thing. Like, she professional white women. It's a thing that they do. It's a performance. It's a thing. They taught from birth and they do it. Like, it's a, you don't judge. Beverly doesn't know how to. Okay, she does in instances. I don't even know if it's on purpose though. With Camilla, it's on purpose. It's a performance. She knows exactly what she's doing. She's calculated at all times. You're never ahead of her. Okay, she knows what the fuck she's doing. They get to the spa. She shows her all of this. In the confessionals, Beverly's like, you know what? I'm very confused about our relationship. One moment she's like this. I'm so glad she let me in on this. She's letting you in because she didn't want you to have this as ammunition to throw in her face later on, like she had done with you, your past, your ex, and all of that. It's not because she's trying to bond with you. You're being manipulated. Do you understand? And I say this standing Camilla, and I'm onto her game. I'm on here. I may as well tell the truth that I'm seeing from this. It's not bonding, girl. She wasn't trying to be like, oh my God, get to know me. She's like, I'm gonna perform. She is a theater hand when it's said and done. Oh, you can't trust those. Anyway, stayed on the scene for too long. And the next scene we see Loveline and Lou. They go to the Amaklosa. I said that properly. My clicks just go away sometimes, guys. Like, I don't know, like like sometimes the clicks just go away. Like, I don't know. But they go there and then somebody in the store attends to them and the person's like, hi, welcome to Makosa Africa. I didn't know they had that lot, like the Africa to the name. You understand? I didn't know that. And then they get to talking about what's going on and the owner actually comes to meet them. For the life of me, this man whom I think is brilliant, his name, is it Laduma? What's his name? I cannot get it right now. If I do, I'll put it on the screen somewhere when I'm editing. But he comes through to say hi to them. He invites them to a showcase that they're having in Cape Town. I can't tell if the showcase is just gonna be his brand or other designers showing at the fashion show as well. But the girls are excited and they ask for a +1. And it's at this meeting where Lou tells or lets Loveline in on the fact that her and Rixie are actually planning a getaway for the ladies and not to bring a +1, which is hilarious because this is a theme that Lou carries through the entire episode. But lady, you were her +1 at the event or the getaway to Grayton that Camilla put together. So it's very rich for you to constantly be like, oh my God, you know she loves ring plaza. Girl, you were the reason the pregnant lady didn't have a key and she wanted to go home. Rich, just fucking annoying. But anyway, invites them to this thing. It's exciting. I hope one day that I can afford this man's brand. I don't care. I'm not really a brand whore type person, but also I don't have money, right? So maybe I am a brand whore. It's just I don't have money, so access, so then I'm not that person. But this man in particular, I watched the what is this? It's a vintage series that they have, and they have creatives gather or people of a certain industry that have something in common, and they gather and they sit and they talk. And in this particular episode, forgot what it's called, but if you search vintage something, it should come up, right, on YouTube. They had a fashion one, and he was one of the, oh, I loved that. I love to hear it, the confidence, how much work goes into what he does, why it costs what it does, not that it needs justifying. This is like a homegrown brand that is, I've seen the things in person, people who have the means to purchase these things. It's really good. This shit is really good. Do you understand? If you guys are out there buying overpriced t-shirts, written Gucci on them, you can go to this man's store and get a pair of socks. I'm sorry, okay? But anyway, he invites them. They ask, can they bring plus ones? And he's like, oh, we'll see what we can do about it. And in the next scene, we see them at the fashion show. They've brought along Beverly, who's not wearing what this man is showcasing, which is disgusting. They could have been like, friend, please head on down to the store and get something or whatever, right? The other three ladies, Brooksy has actually mentioned this brand before. She mentioned Amakosa in her episode where her son she had a son go to initiation school, and when he was coming back, her sisters were like, they purchased a, you know, whatever, like, not this bitch, like, girl, that's not what they got. Like, she said I'm nice, you understand? So she's about this brand. Clearly the ladies look wonderful, decked out in they Amakosa clothes. It's like, it's really nice. Like, everybody looks really nice, and they tell Beverly about this getaway that they're planning and stuff. And yeah, Beverly has a diamond dealer come over to her home, and she's invited Loveline, and she talks about, oh well, I thought Loveline would appreciate this because we're the only two that can probably afford this right now, which is hilarious, because pretty sure Camilla can buy the little house she lives in. Pretty sure. Okay, they get there. She's like, I've spent a couple of million with him already, and Lavana is like, oh my god, I really appreciate that she invited me to this thing because I've been looking to get my wedding band made or whatever, or rich woman things, girl. And it was a nice scene. We get to see that. We don't get to see them spend any actual money with this dealer, but anyway, we move. In the next scene, we see Lou and Brooksy. The pace of the episode in the beginning was quick because I think some of the scenes were so long when they eventually get to where they get to, but let's get there. We see Rixie and Lou. They are at a restaurant somewhere. It's their meetup point for all the ladies, for them to get onto their transport and go to this thing, they get away to a safari somewhere. And then we see all the ladies arrive. Beverly, I love Beverly so much, you guys. I know it doesn't seem like it, but I really idol Beverly. Beverly gets there. She's like, what did you all arrive in? Like, they're trying to pick me up in a Suzuki. Like, she is traumatized at them trying to pick her ass up in a Suzuki. She's like, no, she didn't arrive in a Suzuki. So clearly she turned that shit away. She did not arrive in a Suzuki. She says in her convention, I think they were trying to embarrass me. Yes, I don't try to pick that honey up in a Suzuki. She really needs a new rich husband stat. She really do. They all meet up there. They all trickle in. Loveline trickles in. Can't remember if Camilla came in to sit at the thing. But when Tata arrives, she doesn't even come to sit with the ladies. She's a bit in a somber mood, if you would like, and she, heads straight for the vehicle that they're going in, and the ladies start to arrive. No. Camilla arrives last, and Beverly insists that she goes sit at the back. Everybody's complaining about this, right? But as a poor girl who's had to take taxis like my whole life, and sometimes it still happens that I need to get on a taxi, I'm like, no, it's not the most comfortable thing, but like, do you know a CIR? Do you know a beat down CIR where you can see the road the same one you guys are driving on while you're driving on it because it's a hole in the floor? Do you know about that? The thing about these things, it's so fascinating to me because I'm like, my friends and I would probably be okay, just like going somewhere for fucking free essentially, right? But I suppose these women live in comfort, right? They've had to leave their very comfortable, luxurious homes for this thing. It better provide the same level of comfort. I suppose that's where they're coming from. And if you don't live a certain lifestyle as people, you can sometimes feel like, well, that's too much, don't you think? But Camilla's up in there in her museum where she's very comfortable. The last thing she wants to do is squeeze into the back of a taxi or whatever it is that they were riding in. But they ride in their thing, and while they were sitting Lou and Roxy while they were sitting waiting for the ladies to arrive. Lou got into a bit of a chat with her, letting her know that, you know what, a lot of conversations have transpired, and because Tato and I just patched things up when we just got back cool from that incident of her throwing me out, I thought it decent for me to let her know in good faith that her and I starting over, that Bev said this and this about you. And she says when they were out at the nightclub the episode before, Beverly had said when she was showing Love Line some song was playing, and when she went to sit by Bev was like, did you see Tato make fun of you in Love Line just now? So Lou wanted to nip it in the bud there and then, so she went to ask Tato, and Tato's like, no bitch, like I was busy living my life. And when she turned back to look at Beverly had now looked elsewhere and was minding her own business, so she decided to let it go. But then she also says that Beverly shared with her that Tato was gossiping with a mutual friend of theirs, more so Beverly's friend / stylist, a man by the name of Elaine, I think they say. And she had said, oh, Beverly's broke and she has to sell her home and this, that, and the other. She's sharing this with Rixie, and she's like, I'm hoping that this trip, this is Lou now, will help us get everything out in the open so that we stop skinnering about each other and then we can just get on with it. Great. This is what happens before they get onto their little taxi, and there they are, 2-hour drive. They arrive at a game reserve lodge, I don't know, it's called Aquile, like aqua, like water, like tranquility type vibe is what I guess they were going for. But I don't care, they're not paying me to say it right. They arrive at this place, they get off, they say it's a 5-star resort, blah blah blah. The drinks are giving every bit 3.5 stars. Even Love Line is like, there's this sparkling wine here, I'm reading it, it looks so red, so sweet. I'm just like, is this gonna be Oros? Is this like gonna be Sweet 8? What is these, honey? Like, what? It's not the Ace of Spades my man got us at the club. It's not. Like, Love Line loves to scrutinize sparkling drinks. She does. It's her thing. She likes to read, what is this? She's a woman who loves champagne. She just does. Everybody else, when they were in the ride over there, Camilla's on the phone non-stop and it's irritating to everybody, but Beverly actually says, I wish you would get off that phone. Like, I really wish that's the last time when she was hanging up, you'd get off that phone. And they have a little back and forth, nothing really, blah blah blah, right? It fizzles out. But when they get off the ride and they're having their welcome drinks, they offer, and then somebody's like, oh, Rixie is like to Bev, are you not gonna have sparkling wine? She's like, no, I'm not gonna have. Also, she mentions that she's not feeling well earlier on, that she's feeling rather run down. She can't tell if she's coming down with a cold or flu, what's the matter, but her body's taking strain. And oh, Rushda's got on the ride. Rushda is here somewhere. They get in there. She's like, no, I'm not gonna, I don't really drink sparkling wine. She says that. And then Camilla's like, no, you drink a Chardonnay from time to time, don't you, babe? Like, Beverly's clearly not trying to drink. Why are you pressuring her? Miss, I split my face with these drinks. Like, why are you doing all of that? Anyway, when they're heading into the actual establishment after the welcome drinks, they turn up Beverly and Camilla's mics, right? Because they're walking in, they're turning, so you can hear the conversation they're having. And Camilla says to Beverly, could you tone it down, please? Do you mind not doing all of that stuff that you, and she's like, shut up. She literally doesn't even acknowledge that this woman is saying, I don't like how you're treating me, your tone, how you're talking to me. She's like, you're being such a bitch. That's exactly what Camilla says to her. I think Camilla is now mad at Beverly saying to her in the car, I wish you would get off that phone. Right? This is a woman who holds grudges. She does. So she's now feeling like, okay, you did that. It's game time, bitch. The printout didn't hurt you. I'm gonna get you now. Okay? You are not about to play with me. And boy, oh boy. Boy, oh boy. Camilla's calculating, you guys. In the car, the other thing that happened in the car, Roxy says, Tato's so mellow this episode. It's so unlike her. Something's the matter. Roxy says, oh, Tato got it all this morning. Tato slept at Mohammed's. And she's like, Chomi, why would you say that to everybody? She denies that anything happened to them. I mean, anything happened between them, sexual that is. I don't believe her. I believe Tato doesn't have the means to sustain herself outside of that man. And that's the thing that keeps her going back to him. Which is sad. It is really heartbreaking. I want better for Tato. I really do. The ladies arrive. As they're having their welcome drinks, everybody's like, are we gonna have our own rooms? Blah, 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 blah. And anyway, the whole thing gets sorted out rather quickly. Rixie hands out all the envelopes with everybody's key, and everybody goes to their room, and we get to see Rixie's room. It's really cute, and we get to see Lou's room, and they're a little bit identical. And then they're like, okay, we arrived a little bit late for a game drive, so we're gonna have to figure out something else to do with our evening. And they decide, okay, let's have a pajama party. That always goes down. Us girls do love a good pajama party. And then they go on to see all the ladies. They go to all their rooms and tell them that's what the plan is for the day. And they invite them over to Lou's room for the for this PJ party. And they trickle into Lou's room, as the evening goes, and they play Never Have I Ever. And it gets very sexual very quickly because us girls do love to talk about a little sex when we're all together. I'm a bit of a prude. I have decided that I'm going to stop being so hard on Love Line regarding the prude thing, because I know this performance, right? I know this. I think seeing how sexually liberated once again Camilla is as a white woman has reminded me how much white women are allowed to explore and experience sexuality very differently from us black girls. Like, purity culture is very well and alive and pervasive in a lot of black cultures across the board, right? No, we're not a monolith. We're not going to get into that. And neither are the white women. But we do know the white girls in school go on contraceptives before everybody, and they say it's for acne or whatever, but they're all fucking at 14, and they're all on Yaz, and you don't even know what Yaz is. You're not even allowed to talk to boys. So when they start talking about Camilla's like, nobody else has ever had a threesome, you telling me none of you girls? Like, it's so shocking to her. And obviously, like, you know, Love Line is like, oh my god, no. As it is, see, she's not doing that on purpose. It is a little bit of performance to a degree because she thinks that makes her a good woman. And that's probably part of why her husband is with her. Like, oh, this one is going to be obedient. She's going to stay. She's going to do exactly what I want because she's so invested in the performance of being a good woman. Part of it includes you saying, I'm not going to suck dick, and I'm not going to do this. And I'm not saying do things that you're not comfortable with. But the complicated relationship us black women have with sex, around sex, even conversation around sex, I want better for you all. Not me in particular, because never can shishimisa at this current moment, and there's nothing I can do about it. It's like they just need to change who they are if I'm going to change my mind. They need to change my mind by changing their behavior. But for you all, I wish better for you. I do have friends though whom I've never had conversations around sex with, because purity culture is just such a bitch, which is fine. I have other people I can talk all the sex I want with. But anyway, they talk about threesomes and anal, and then eventually they're like, okay, it's actually Love Line's party. Love Line's birthday. So we're gonna do a cute little countdown for her and a toast for her. She can tell us all the wishes she wants for the year of grace that she's entered into, and they do just that, and it's lovely, and they toast, and it's a beautiful thing. It's a really beautiful thing. Next morning, the ladies come down for what is brunch because they all went to bed rather late. Everybody's looking a little hungover, but they all look cute and pretty. Everybody just looks gorgeous. Really, 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 they do. They arrived. Tato's wearing the shortest thing she could find, and I love that for her. She's clearly a woman who doesn't work out but has been blessed with good skinny jeans, and she can still wear what she wants because, you know, the world has said skinny women are allowed to wear shorts and the rest of us aren't, and good for them. They're sitting down at this breakfast. Loveline has not arrived yet. Everybody has arrived. Rushda. I actually do want Rushda to come back for a second season because I would like to meet her outside of all the hormones that are raging in her. I do have a lot of grace for what she's going through. I just think I wish it was happening in her 3rd season when we'd already met her, the person, outside of all of this, right? Because the woman did have COVID. That compromises her immune system, and she's carrying another person inside of her. So that makes her immune system is compromised. She got a tummy bag after that because, you understand, a lot is happening with her, but then it doesn't make for great television. Do you understand? We can sympathize with her for being women and we understand how it works, but it does not make for compelling television, unfortunately. I'm sorry, but I want her to get a contract for a 2nd season because I actually think she makes for good television. Her confessionals are really good, and I actually think she will have the backbone to stand for whatever shit she said in her confessionals. I think she'll be able to stand for it on the reunion stage. I actually think so. And I would love to see it. Lou and the hosts arrive first. Lou and Rixie arrive first for brunch, and she arrives and she's mwah, mwah. Everybody's like, oh, are you sure you want to do that, girl? Weren't you just saying how you don't want to be getting germs on you? What is this? Like, they don't know. That's the thing that I also don't like, right? Like, we don't know how to move around you. Like, either you're a germaphobe or because of this pregnancy, or you're not, because now I never know how you're gonna receive me or how to receive you, because bitch, it's one thing today and it's one thing the next day. Like, don't kiss me, girl. I still got the same germs I had yesterday. Fuck out of my face. Like, no. Anyway, Beverly arrives wearing a set that Loveline had worn at a previous meetup. Looks very cute on both of them, respectively. And everybody gathers, and then as they're sitting there, good lord, this was reality television gold. If you had stopped watching because you got bored, go back and just watch the last scene of this episode. That shit was good. Okay, Tato's still very somber, obviously. I think this has been weighing on her, among other things. Says to Beverly, I need for us to address something that Lou shared with me. It comes up now. Lou's like, okay, I had shared with, she's like, oh, Lou shared with me that you had said that I was talking rather badly about you with Elaine. And that I was saying that you're selling your home, this, that, and the other. This is Lou explaining. Tato started talking, and then Lou took over to explain exactly what she said. And then Beverly's like, no, I think you misheard. In this moment, I did not believe Beverly at all. I just read Beverly for I don't want no smoke with Tato because she's just teamed too much. I'm going through it right now. We saw a very comforting scene earlier on in the episode with her and Loveline. Loveline went to check on her before the PJ party, and she shared that she's just so run down, and Loveline was like, I feel like the stress is actually wearing on her physically now, because stress does that, right? For a while it's in your head and you're trying to work it out, you're trying to make sense of it, you're trying to break it down, and then eventually your body gives and it starts to manifest physically, and that is really, really sad to see. So anyway, we saw that earlier, so we know she's not in a good space. She doesn't really have the capacity to take on stuff. She'll avoid anything. She'll cower. She'll stomp things out. She just will not. Her and Tata are very fake with each other, if I was being completely honest, right? They make peace to each other's faces, and then in their confessionals, Mama Ngilokosha, oh, Beverly's a hoe, I don't trust her, I don't this. It's like, y'all, are you guys friends? Are you not? What's going on? You understand? Like, ugh, la bora. Sorry, and then Beverly's like to Lou, I think you misheard or you misunderstood. That's not what I said. this is starting to aggravate Tato now, because she's like, why would I even talk about her selling her house? I don't even know that she's listing a house. And as she continues to deny this, we cut to Camilla's confessionals, and she's like, I'm sitting here, I'm sitting this out for now, but the more Tato denies this having happened, the more agitated I get, because I was privy to this conversation and I'm rather aware that she did say some unflattering things about her so-called friend Beverly. And here is where we see her hop into the conversation saying to Tato, no, but you did say some nasty things. You guys were in my car, you and Elaine, and you all were talking very mean about Beverly from this point, driving from this point all the way up until town. I forgot where she said. You all had the most nasty. And so Tato now wants a blow by blow. Tato wants specifics, like, what did I say? What? So Beverly can't say what she said, like, you know, word for word. She can't verbatim tell her this is what she was saying. And so Tato's getting agitated now. I believe Camilla, because I don't think her and Beverly were in a good space at this point, and Tato fights dirty. Like, if she's not in a good space with you, she's gonna go there with you. Like, at the lowest of the low, she's gonna go there. But Beverly doesn't want to get into it with Tato. I felt like, I was talking to my best friend about this before I got on, and she's like, I feel like Camilla was performing. And she is a broader girl, and I suppose to a degree she was performing. But I feel like she's like, we all try to engage with Tato, and then eventually everybody just like drops the whole thing because she's just too much, right? She's too loud. She doesn't account for anything up until she's really, really hurt somebody. Then she'll try to walk it back when you can't walk it back. So she really went there with her. What I need to understand is one thing. In the previous episode, when they showed us the preview for episode 11 and episode 10, in the preview, I could swear, I'm prepared to be wrong, I could swear in the preview, it ends with Camilla saying, you're a slut. I didn't hear that in episode 11, so I don't know what edit they went to do, but it's still in that preview. She says this to Tato. Tato, anyway, escalates when she's talking to, her tone gets very loud, like she gets Tato-like, right? As she does this, Camilla just starts on her. Like, you're so inauthentic. You don't know how life works. She keeps calling she calls Camilla a liar. I think that's what set Camilla off. Like, don't call me a liar when you're the one lying. So Camilla eventually says to us, she doesn't use these exact words. She's like, Elaine was saying things and you were not disputing them. You were supporting the things that he was saying about your friend Beverly. Cut to confessionals. We hear Roxy say, why is it only on Tato to defend Beverly? What were you doing, right? What was Camilla doing? If this Elaine person was talking reckless about Beverly and Tato was not defending Beverly, why weren't you stepping in to defend Beverly? Beverly had just saged her fucking house. I wouldn't defend her either. On the other hand, Camilla says when we just left Grayton or wherever it is that they were at before the commute, you were hugging on Beverly, talking about how she's your only real friend, only for you to get in the car, and when this person is talking mess about your friend, you aid them. You borderline egg them on, or you at least don't stop them from doing it, you know? So this is very interesting to me. Another thing Rixie says, Rushta says in her confessionals is that there are a lot of parallels that we can draw between these two people, except Camilla would never want to admit it because she has more money, which is not true. It's not true, because all along Camilla has said she recognizes things in Tato because she used to behave in the same fashion, or she was subjected to the same kind of treatment where it comes to the abuse, the drinking. She said on many occasions that there are things about Tato that she can relate to because she went through the same thing. So I don't think in that sense she would be bothered about people noticing or pointing out the similarities between the two of them. But she is a bit of a, what's the word I'm looking for? They're classist dynamics here, especially between her and Beverly. I was saying to my best friend, because my best friend is like, I'm trying to figure out what her gripe is with Beverly. They don't rate each other. And when we're introduced to Camilla in episode 1, she lets us into who she is, her status in society, the socialite thing, the Queen of Constantia thing. So this is clearly a woman. In her society, she wields a certain amount of power because she's born into wealth and she still holds a good amount of it, right? So the white women around her probably play ball. They toe the line and they understand that she's the queen bee. Beverly, on the other hand, doesn't rate her because the things that Camilla values aren't of value to Beverly, who smells of new money, right? She's a brand whore. She loves the flashy, showy things. She wants to wear her wealth, whereas Camilla likes to be a little bit more, she's been in it too long. She does, oh my God. Ooh, in the middle of the argument. Guys, you're the producers and the receipts. In the middle of the argument, Camilla says to Tato, yeah, you're calling me inauthentic. You who wears Gucci. She's like, yes, I wear Gucci. And then she's like, no, you shut up and fake Gucci, bitch. Do they not roll the tape of Tato with her arms like this, wearing a dress that says Gucci? Go ahead and see. Girl, the shirt needs to say Gucci. I'll buy the shirt. Get a shirt. Remember in the last episode, I was like, she needs to print shirts that says I'm so Gucci, because she was doing that in the one episode. The shirt needs to say I'm so Gucci, with a wine glass tilted over and poured over like a real drunk. I'll buy it, Tato. Don't overprice it though, bitch. I'm not trying to play that game with you, not for shit. But anyway, she talks about this, and they show 2 incidences where she's shown up in fake Gucci. Guys, I feel like they make better knockoffs. Ayanda from Real Housewives of Durban, she wears better knockoffs. You really have to know your brands to know Ayanda's wearing a fucking fake. Come on now, Tato, get the better fakes, girl. Coochie, girl. Like, it's not even gonna be a G, mama. Like, girl, have it be a G, y'all. Like, like, not for cake. Not C. It was so bad, guys. The receipts were so bad. I can't wait for next episode. I really cannot wait for the next episode for us to really see these women go toe to toe. The classist elements that, you know, that come through. Camilla's gonna talk about how her wine is a pop sack, this, that, and the other. In the last episode, she's acting like she's not grilling this woman on her wine, but she really was, because she's just a classist bitch when it's said and done. And I love Camilla. I love this ensemble. I want everybody to get their contracts back. I love it. I do. I don't know how I'm gonna chop up this video. That I don't know. But that's it, you guys. Cheers. See, still have lots of wine in my glass. Tata would be done with this shit. I'm working on my swearing. Okay. Bye.